Let us try to expand our knowledge of errors. So in this program, we saw that when we panic, we get an error. This error is a very specific one, and the name of this error is called as zero division error. Now Python gives us an error handling mechanism in the form of try and except blocks. So let us see how we can use that syntax to catch this zero division error. So let me go back and let me create a new file, and I can name the file as smartdivider.py. So let us create our function called as smart divider. Again, it's going to accept x, which is integer, y is also an integer. This is returning nothing. Now let's see how we can do a very smart division. Last time we saw that when we divided by 0, we got an error, and that error was zero division error. We can catch that by using our try and except blocks. So this is how the try and except blocks goes. So inside the try, this is the code that we want to try. So trying the code, and in case this code fails, then we can say except, and this is the place we are going to catch the specific error, and we have that error, then do something with the error. Let us see how we can fill these blocks. So inside try, let us see if we can divide or not. So I can just say my number is equal to x divided by y, and I want to print out my number. Now what happens if we get the same zero division error? So we can tell Python that whenever we are going to have that error, I want my except block to catch it. So I can say except my zero division error. So that means whenever I get this error, I want to catch that error, and after catching that error, I can do something with it. So let me just print out some message. Can't divide by 0, use some other number. Now let us go back and let us try dividing by 4 with 0, and let us try to run this. So this time we have a much better output. Our program is not panicking. Instead, we get a very helpful message saying that can't divide by 0, use some other number. So as you can see, we can handle our errors. Now imagine one more scenario. Instead of 4, I write as A. Then what happens? Let us run and see what's happening. This time again we have some other error, and this time the error is called as type error, and unfortunately our program is panicking and it is terminating midway. Let's see how we can handle this situation as well. So let me go back and let me create another file. This time I will name it as really smart divider, and let us start writing the code for this one. Let me copy and paste the code from my smart divider. So let me take all of this and paste inside my really smart divider. So since this is a really smart divider, I can say this is my really smart divider. Let us have a look at the error one more time. So what's happening is, let me take it down. So what's happening is we were trying to divide by A. Now A is of the type of a string and 4 is of the type of integer. So both of them are essentially of different types. So that's what this error is saying. So we have a type error. Let us see how we can catch this error as well. We can chain our except blocks. So we can say if we have a zero division error, then I want to catch it right over here. But if there is a type error, so I can say except my type error. Let me catch it right over here, and this time I can print out both x and y needs to be a number. But what happens if we don't know what kind of error we are going to get? That time we can use some other syntax, and this is called as except exception. So now this exception class is the base class for all of the different exceptions. So just as we saw in our classes, dog was a subclass of animal. So same thing, all of these errors, zero division error, type error, and all of these things, all of these errors inherit from exception. Now the same logic goes over here. Dog is an animal, cat is an animal. Same thing, any errors that we get is also an exception, and that's what we are trying to catch over here. Here we can also add an alias. So we can say I want to catch my exception as a variable called as e. Then we can simply print out what happened wrong. So here I can say oops, something went wrong, and let me print out my exception, which we are calling just as e, and that's it. This time we have a really smart divider. Let's try to invoke it. So I can say my really smart divider, can you divide 3 with 0, can you divide 3 with 4, can you divide 3 with a. Now let me try to save and run this file, and this time we have the output. So the first time we have a 0, so we have the output can't divide by 0. Second time everything looks good, so we have the answer. Third time we have a string, so we have the output both x and y needs to be a number.